How is everyone doing? My name is Joe and welcome to Ohio Woodburner. Today, guys, it is super nice out. It's a little chilly, but I mean dry, and we got a really nice wind. This is great for seasoning the firewood. This nice dry wind blowing through firewood really dries it out quick. Today, though, we're going to be making firewood, and we have been in production mode ever since we've had this nice stretch of weather. I was able to get my tractor out into the yard, which I've never really been able to do this time of year because it's just too wet. I had a real big maple tree. I cut it in half and brought it over and dumped it here. I won't be sawing this up today, but I will be getting that bucked up with a chainsaw and getting those put through the Eastonmade Axis for firewood. If you recall from our previous video, I had brought some big logs over with the Bobcat and bucked them up here. These are the big ash logs that I just knew was going to give trouble with going through the Yappa. So these are getting ready to be processed by our Eastonmade Axis. It's going to go right into the dump trailer, and then we'll get it stacked into the drying yard. Here are these two logs that I brought over, guys. I cut them in half over here, but they are just too heavy for the tractor to pick up. I see it's got some rot in it, and I'm worried about ants, and I'm gonna see what we're getting into. If there's ants in these, I'm just gonna throw these out in the field and not even mess with them. And so this is where I'm gonna cut them up with the saw into 16-inch rounds, and they're right here at the Eastonmade, and we can get them all split up. But that will be for doing later in the week. I'm not going to do that today. Today it is just splitting. The Eastonmade Axis has been running great, guys. I went ahead and added some grease to the beam on the front and back. That's really been about it. We're gonna let this warm up, and then I'll go full RPMs and we'll start splitting. Here we go. Here's a halftime report for you guys. I had to shut down because of ants. You know, there's ants, there's insects everywhere, but you know, we kind of work close to the house, and when I break open a log and it's filled with ants, I do what I can to, in this case, I went over and threw it into the furnace just to get them away from us. It was kind of like when I split it open, it reminded me of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It just came pouring out with ants. So I just shut everything down and got them taken care of. Here's the one thing I had mentioned in the past. I just felt like I was making my logs way too big with this because it's such a big, beefy machine. And I've come up with a visual guide that when I am splitting these, I'll use this beam as my reference. So I will kind of just set this to the outside edge and split like this and move the log over. That's kind of like my guide now, and it's worked because I'm starting to get a feel for that ideal size. Remember, I'm splitting for restaurants and high-end residential. They like smaller splits, and that's where this machine is just perfect for it. The other thing that I've noticed too, maybe you are one of these kinds that when you're working, man, you just have this aggressive speed to you. You know, you're just really working hard. I get that way sometimes too, but what I've learned with the Axis is just to slow down and take my time. It seems the slower that I physically work, the faster the machine gets, because I'm able to position the logs better, and I can just get that one good split, and it makes me about 4 to 5 pieces at a time. These are just some of the things I've noticed. You know, every machine has its learning curve. Certainly this one does too. All right, guys, let's get back to splitting. And there you go, guys. That was cool, man. I tell you what, the Axis is fast, but it also makes a finished product. You know, there's no resplitting with the Axis. It is, you are in full control of the splits, and none of this pulling the log back to get it through the knife again. It's all right there in front of you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, there is something to be said for just having an Eastonmade Axis. If you're going to have a firewood company, and the same thing for a firewood processor. I think you can make a successful business with either one. But what you learn is when you start growing, you get yourself into a position where you can have both. And that allows me to have the speed of a processor and then the flexibility and the strength of a commercial splitter, like this Eastonmade Axis. Dynamite machine. So there you go. I want to thank everyone for watching this video. If you really like this Eastonmade Axis, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, because we post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Also, don't forget to check out our online store where our shirts are for sale and our stickers. I really want to thank you all for watching, and everyone have a great day.